All right, so buckle up, because today's deep dive is taking us into the wild world of startups.
Silicon Valley. Here we come, but with a twist.
A twist.
We're diving into whether athletes, yeah, you heard that right, athletes are actually built for that whole founder life.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So there's this buzzword, right? It's like everywhere in the tech scene. Founder mode.
Founder mode.
Founder mode. And we're going to break down why everyone's talking about it and honestly, why it might just describe you.
All right, you've piqued my interest. What is founder mode?
So picture this.
All right.
You've got a founder, right? Totally in the zone, hands-on with every single detail of their company, even as it grows like crazy.
So they're not kicking back on some beach somewhere. Nope, they are not. They're still the ones calling the shots, based on, get this, gut instinct. Even if, and this is the kicker, even if it means going against, like, all the classic management advice, that's founder mode.
It's like going rogue, but in a business suit.
You got it. And our article throws out some pretty big names as examples. Think Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Notoriously involved in even the tiniest design details at Apple.
Oh, yeah. The stories about him obsessing over the design of the iPhone are legendary.
Right. Or Elon Musk, who basically lived at the Tesla factory for a while. These guys, they're all about that intense, hands-on approach.
Okay, so full immersion. But that's where things get really interesting, right? Because this founder mode, it's a bit of a tightrope walk.
What do you mean?
Well, on one hand, it's risky as hell. Like, it can lead to burnout if you don't watch out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, and this is a big but, it can also be the secret sauce behind some massive game-changing breakthroughs. Because sometimes that gut feeling a founder has, that deep in the trenches knowledge, can be more valuable than any MBA.
So how do you know when to trust that instinct? When is it better to stay super involved, even if everyone's telling you to professionalize, bring in the suits, step back?
It's the million-dollar question for founders, and what we're going to explore is, are athletes actually better equipped to answer it?
Because here's where this article takes a turn for the fascinating. It argues that athletes, by their very nature, are practically wired for this whole founder mode thing.
Wired? How so?
They've got the mental toughness, the experience with crazy pressure, everything you need to thrive in that high-stakes pressure cooker environment of a startup.
So it's not about being physically fit, but having that mental game down pat.
Exactly. And the article breaks it down into 3 reasons why athletes might have the edge in founder mode. It's all about the mental toughness they've developed, the discipline that's practically ingrained in them, and their natural ability to lead and inspire a team towards a single goal.
It's like they've been training for the startup world their whole lives without even knowing it.
Exactly. So, first up, let's talk mental toughness and resilience. We're talking about athletes who face devastating losses, career-ending injuries, and they've come back stronger, more determined.
Kind of stuff that would make a normal person want to crawl under a rock.
Right. They know how to fall flat on their face, dust themselves off, and get right back in the game.
Yeah.
And that's got to be relevant to the roller coaster of building a company, right?
Oh, yeah. That ability to handle pressure, to adapt and overcome, it's huge in the business world. It's that bounce-back ability that really sets them apart. Whether you're talking about sports or startups, resilience is key.
Totally. And speaking of key ingredients, isn't that where the whole discipline and work ethic thing comes in? Because let's be real, building a company from the ground up is no walk in the park.
Not even close.
Oh, yeah.
The article actually makes a really interesting point about that. It says that it takes that same kind of grit, that same dedication athletes pour into their training, day in, day out.
It's like those early morning practices, the constant grind, right? Athletes, they get that. They understand what it means to delay gratification. They're playing the long game. And the article suggests that that mindset, that willingness to put in the work, even when it's tough, even when no one's watching, it's crucial for founders too.
Absolutely. It's about having that unwavering commitment to the big picture, being willing to sacrifice immediate comfort for something more.
Whether that's winning a championship or, yeah, building a billion-dollar company.
It's that inner drive that fuels it all.
But okay, it's not just about individual grit, right? This article also talks about leadership and teamwork.
Yeah.
And I mean, athletes, they know a thing or two about that.
For sure. Just think about it. Especially in team sports, athletes are practically hardwired to work together to achieve a common goal. They understand how to motivate, how to inspire, how to build that trust that becomes so crucial when the pressure's on.
It's that whole we're in this together mentality. Which, honestly, that's true in sports and startups, isn't it?
100%.
You need everyone rowing in the same direction if you want to get anywhere.
And who better to lead the charge? right? Who better to get everyone aligned than someone who's actually lived that on the field, in the game?
It's like they've been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Exactly. And the article actually highlights that connection beautifully. It argues that a founder, especially one operating in founder mode, needs to be that unifying
The
force.
one who brings everyone together.
Yeah, the one communicating the vision, building a culture where everyone feels like they can contribute, like they're a valued part of the team,
And that's leadership that goes beyond just, titles and hierarchies.
which is something athletes often embody naturally. It's in their DNA.
So it sounds like athletes might actually have a serious leg up in this whole founder mode game. But the article doesn't shy away from the challenges either, right?
Mhm.
It's not all sunshine and roses on the road to startup success, even for, these incredible individuals.
It's definitely not a cakewalk. The article makes it clear that there are some real hurdles to overcome.
So what's the first red flag the article raises? What do athletes really need to watch out for when they're making this transition?
The big one, and this might not be a huge shocker, is burnout.
Burnout.
Burnout. We talked about that incredible drive and work ethic, right? But that same intensity can be a double-edged sword. Just like overtraining can wreck an athlete's body, founders can burn themselves out if they're not careful.
Which, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because founder mode is all about being so deeply involved in every single detail. It can be completely all-consuming.
So like,
It's like those athletes who push themselves to the absolute limit 24/7. Eventually, something's got to give
exactly. And that's where the article suggests that an athlete's self-awareness becomes really crucial.
because they're used to pushing through pain, right? That's part of the deal.
Yeah, but they also understand recovery.
Oh,
They
interesting.
know how to listen to their bodies.
Yeah.
And the article suggests that same principle translates to the startup world, knowing when to push and when to step back, recharge, and come back even stronger.
So finding that balance is key, that sustainable pace, even in the middle of, the chaos of building a company. Now, what's the other challenge the article highlights for athletes jumping into the business world?
This one might seem a little counterintuitive given their background, but it's delegation.
Delegation.
Delegation. Because being a leader on the field is different from leading a company. Athletes, they're used to calling the shots, right? Relying on their gut, making split-second decisions.
Right.
But as a founder, you can't do it all yourself.
You can't wear all the hats.
You can't wear all the hats,
I know.
no matter how talented you are. And the article makes that crystal clear. To really succeed as a founder, athletes need to master delegation, trusting their team, empowering others to excel. It's a real shift, going from star player to coach.
Ooh, I like that analogy. But there's still a vital part of the team. It's just a different kind of contribution.
Exactly. And the article suggests that maybe athletes are actually uniquely equipped to make that transition. Think about it. All that time spent with coaches, understanding team dynamics, how to get the best out of everyone, that's got to be invaluable in the business world.
So it's not about losing that competitive fire,
Yeah.
but maybe like channeling it. Right.
Spot on. And, the article ends on a really optimistic note. It actually predicts that we're going to see even more athlete founders in the coming years.
Really?
Like their unique skills, that mindset, it's a huge asset, could be a game changer for the business world.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Imagine, right, that same drive, the resilience we see in sports, being channeled into building companies, tackling, I don't know, global challenges. The possibilities are endless.
Right. And you know what? The article leaves us with this really thought-provoking question I want to throw your way.
Hit me with it.
What can we learn not just from the athlete founders who absolutely crush it, but also from those who, well, maybe they struggle a little bit? What separates those who thrive in that kind of environment, that pressure cooker, from those who don't?
Because let's be real, not every athlete becomes, Michael Jordan or Serena Williams, and not every founder becomes Steve Jobs or Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something to learn from both sides of the coin, right? The wins and, yeah, the losses too.
100%. The path to success, whether we're talking about sports or startups or anything really, it's rarely a straight line. It's messy, and that's okay. It's about embracing the challenges, learning from every single win and every setback, constantly pushing yourself to grow.
So maybe the next time we see an athlete on the world stage,
Yeah.
we might just be looking at, I don't know, a future business mogul in the making.
Right, the next big tech giant just waiting to happen.
You heard it here first, folks. Keep your eyes open, your minds open, because the world of founder mode, it's not just for Silicon Valley anymore. Until next time, keep exploring, keep those questions coming, and as always, happy diving.